build video 2. In this video you'll probably see us do a load of fab work, basically everything to prep the shell for paint. So we've got rear firewall, finishing off the tube front, all the tubs, a load of bits in the interior, retubbing the rear quarters, flattening off the, boxing off, flattening off the rear quarters at the back, so chassis leg height. Also fitting the full kit on the car, so to actually kind of get an idea of what the car's going to look like. And then prepping the inside for paint, prepping the outside for paint. Getting in the booth here, I painted all of the inside, the roll cage and the boot and door shuts and stuff like that. And then, yeah, getting it all ready to go down to Dave's, and then dropping it down to Dave's to be painted, and that'll be it. I'm currently redoing the gearbox tunnel, because it's had like a top cover plate on it before for a different box, but I had like holes drilled all the wrong places, so that is why I've got a big gap here, where I'm making a new cover plate, and then we've got this gator and gator cover on top. Piece for the box is all made. Everything's clean to bare metal. So you can see this is a new piece, which fits nicely to what I've cut out, and then obviously that's the shifter hole. Box comes up ever so slightly through, and then this sits on the top. Seals it in because of the rubber seal underneath that. And yeah, so we're going to weld this in now, clean that up, and then that's that done. That's all welded in, all cleaned up. That goes on there, the rubber boot. Might do a carbon centre console at a later date, but that'll do for now. So now I'm going to get the front wings off, get the bonnet off, and then start on the tubs. Nice. I think today I'm going to try and get these front tubs done, get the lap joints in these, I think I've got some, and then get the sort of bracing plates done. Going to get on with that in a minute. I've already templated a lot of it. I'll show you roughly the process, how you make front tubs. Blank off the holes in the firewall that have been cut by someone. Looks like they've been cut by an animal. Then it can probably go on the road and start stripping the front arches. Made the main tub panels. These two, they're just temporarily tacked in place so as I can make the final infill panel in there. Then once all the panels are made and everything's trimmed, I'll then mark out all the edges, take everything back out, swage all the lines and everything that we want, and then all of those can be fully welded in. That's one piece, another piece, and then an infill down there with some dimple dies. This will all be swaged. That'll have some nice swaging in it. So we're just cutting out the infill pieces here. It's going to be hard to do this one-handed, but basically that sits in there like that. And then obviously it'll be trimmed to the tube, and then that will have some dimple dies in it. Yeah. And gives us a sealed tub. Side panels are made, marked all of them out. All different size dimple dies, marked all out, drilled them, then clean up all the edges, and then we'll press those, and then those panels are ready to go in. Everything's marked out, all the swaging's done, all the panels, all the dimple dies on that one are done. So now it's like a jigsaw puzzle of putting that one back in there. That one back in there, then the top piece on top. So we're going to weld all those in now, and then yeah, then the tube front will look pretty complete. S15 engine bay is looking a lot better. So the tubs are all made, obviously 3 separate panels, they're all made, everything's welded in, this seam is all cleaned up, chassis leg welded back together at the bottom. So the only thing left to do regarding the tubs is going to be this section here gets cut back a little bit, and then you can put like a 45 return into there, cleans it up, looks all nice. Then the engine bay can go back to bare metal. So we'll mount coolers, like oil cooler and power steering cooler, pins for the aero catches for the bonnet. And then that'll be the tube front completely finished. Everything is now cut out. So this is obviously strut top panel, strut tower panel. This is the tubs that we put in, chassis leg. So this is the piece that was there, part of the chassis leg. Now, if you look at this side, heavily corroded. And if you look at the other side that was up against, it was up against this skin, that side, barely anything. So this was where the strut tower would sit against this face of this. So that sits in there. This strut tower then sits over the front of it and spot welds to it. And as you can see, the water drains down the strut top panel, and then it goes in between the strut top and this, and it completely rots out that panel in between. But then if you look behind it, then the actual chassis leg on this car, absolutely mint. So even the cleanest of S chassis still have this problem, where the lower part of strut tower and that upper part of chassis leg corrode out in between the skins. So we'll make a new piece for this, put that in, new piece for the strut top to bring it back down, then we'll put our infill pieces in here to join our tubs to the strut top we made the other night, and then we'll be good to go. Yo, what's up YouTube? What was that, Carl?
JC in the house!
Anyway, both repair panels are made. This one's for the chassis leg, so that goes into this bit here first. This one is also made. Drill the holes in this one for spot welding, then get it all welded up. It's all welded in all the way around where we cut, and then all ground back and cleaned. The other side is all spot welded along the leg. So now that's all in, that's all primed, everything up there is treated. Now we've got this panel, which is the bottom of the strut tower. So this one will now, I can hold it, go in like that. Everything's drilled for the spot welds. So that'll go in like that, be welded back to the strut tower, spot welded back to the leg. And then we can put this panel back down, put in this infill panel, and then that is it, all repaired.
For decades, researchers have been trying to communicate with Bigfoot. But have you ever wondered who he is trying to communicate with?
I'm really sorry, boss. I didn't think I was going to be late, but my S15 won't work. God. This is all back together. Strut top's all done, that panel's all done, chassis legs all done. So that is all literally all completely done. New piece in there, a couple of holes from the old guys have been filled. I need to make fill-in pieces for this, fill in a few of these holes, blah blah blah. I'm going to put the infill pieces in now into that, because then that is all sealed. We can then trim a bit of this back up here for wheel clearance, clean that edge back down there. Then the next thing is this corner. So obviously, not obviously, so what a lot of people do is just smash this back with a hammer, and yes, that does work, but if you're at this stage of building a car, you might as well do it properly. And the way to do it is you basically cut this, cut down there, and then out here, cut all the way back there outside, and then you massage some of this back a little bit, and then you make a new piece that goes from here to here, giving you thus more clearance. Same for this bit down here. Someone in the past has just cut this and fold it over. I will probably cut this along here nicely, weld the seam back together, and then that doesn't look so crap. That piece is in this side. Done this side as well. Just an infill piece, make up all the tubs, so that is all finished. All cleaned up from the outside, so once that's painted that will look really nice. So that is the tubs done, rush repairs done. Now we basically start doing the modifications to make more room. So, and then I've got to fill all these holes in the firewall that have been made, these horrible holes that someone made for the cage. These holes, fill these holes nicely, and then these triangular holes down there. So next step is this section. I don't want to just smash it up with a hammer, so basically cut all of this out, allow more room. Probably going to run this car on wires fab from now on, so yeah, cut all this out, make a load more room. It's not too bad to get these out. I'll show you there, obviously big cut up there, cut in the side. Obviously I've got to blank off this hole anyway, and then there's just a few spot welds in the middle that you can get to once you kind of peel it apart a bit, and then that will come out, and then we'll show you how we make the infill piece. So this is basically what you need to get rid of. Don't really need to take any more than that, depends how much clearance you need, but I might cut this a little bit further, but to be honest you don't really need it, and the stock double skin is nice and strong, so it is good to leave some of it. And then basically some people don't, I will make a panel that sits flush on here that goes that way, that has a return, because then when I make this panel I can do a few holes down here and spot weld it back to the sill. It doesn't really need it, like this is all pretty strong, but at the same time having that panel have an extra bit of strength just, I mean, increases the chances of if the wheel runs back and hits it, it's just more likely to survive it. So yeah, gonna make this little panel in here and then start making that infill panel now. Shouldn't be too bad, just one nice big piece, and then show you how we do that. Everything in there is cleaned up, treated, there's no rust, so that's ideal. This little return panel is spot welded to the central sill panel, and then this is so as I can put this panel in with 3 spot welds in the middle to that, just braces it all up nicely. That is now all welded in, all cleaned up there, seam welded down there, so now, and spot welded in there to the little return panel that we made, so now we've got a good amount more clearance. So this side is now done. So I made a panel, goes all the way in there, fills all that gap in, comes around here, loads more clearance for the wheel, gain about 1 inch here, and then it wraps in nicely. You push all this lot back a little bit while you do it. Chassis leg down here is trimmed nicely and welded back up. So all I've got to do now is fill all these little holes in that we're not going to be using, fill that little hole up there. That will then be driver's side completely done. After that, I've just got to fill all the holes in the firewall, fill the holes around the cage tubes, and then the fab work is pretty much done. Then we just need to mount PMU, wait for the kit, and then we should be ready for paint basically. Back on the parcel shelf, doing a bit of CAD design, cardboard advanced design. So I've got 2 templates made for the 45-degree upright piece and the top piece. So you can see those there. So the 2 templates are made. I'm now going to cut those out of metal, trim everything in nicely, and then put some nice panel work into the panels, some nice bead work into them, maybe put a logo on one of them or something like that. So all transferred onto the metal. So now I'm going to cut that out from the templates, and then we can see how it fits. Now I need to fold 45, I know it's roughly 45, into the top piece, and then the other one can be spot welded to that. So squash it down into the bender, bend it up roughly, say about that much, maybe about 45 maybe, so that one's all made, folded at the end to allow for that piece to sort of sit behind it. I've just spent the last like 30 minutes measuring and marking this out to basically make this kind of quilt it. It's a cool effect. I figured I might as well do something a little bit different. So that's all marked out. Ready to now put that through the bead roller. Ready to put that through this to get some nice shape into it, and then I can start putting it all in the car. That took ages, but the firewall panel is now made and all bead rolled. So these 2 panels make up the firewall. With some jiggling around, some clamping and welding and whatnot, I will now get those 2 pieces in, and I've just got to do little infill pieces on the side, and that'll be the firewall done. That was so much effort, it's so awkward, but it's so worth it. It looks so much better than just a flat panel. It looks so cool back there. So now I'll get out, stop fighting with the roll cage. I've got to weld all the bits up from the outside, a few little infill, like return panels to do around the strut tops, and then the firewall's done. So this is the only way I can actually see what I'm doing to weld this parcel shelf in the boot. So yeah, I feel like a murder victim, except in a very small car. It is all welded in, cleaned up. It looks a lot better than the crap that was in there before. So I think all I've got to do fab work wise in this now, a couple of things in the arches. I need to redo the rear tubs, front bash bar, rear bash bar, make a jacking point for the back, a few little bits in the tube front, and then And that's it. Then it's time to prep it for paint. Been waiting quite a long time, I think a month or so, for this package. Finally, the package has come in, and we finally have the kit. So now we've got the kit, we can start fitting that, finish the fabrication work on the front, and really start the ball rolling with this car. So I'll show you the kit box now. So everything for this car is in this big box here. So let's start unwrapping it. There is so many bits. Front bumper, additional pieces like side add-ons, canards, front splitter, foot panels, front wings, side skirts, side skirt extensions. We've got spoiler for the back, and then back bumper. The first step of the kit is getting the wings on, which we have. They, as usual, don't fit very nice, but we've got them on. Got them fitted with the headlights. Obviously, that one on the bottom's not on yet, but it will be. So actually, for the first time in probably over like 3 years.
You literally, when you're talking over there, your face is like half out of shot.
Yeah, that's alright. I'm so happy with this. So only mock-up kind of thing. The wings are mounted for good, the bonnet's on, just needs to do the aero catches, but just laid the front bumper, side skirts and the canards on. Mate, it looks so good. In the thick of the process of getting the kit to fit, currently doing the rear over fenders. So I'll show you what it looks like. The front end is pretty much kind of all mounted now. Back end is kind of all taped on, and I've started fitting this driver's side quarter panel. Let me just shut this door. So yeah, side skirt is just laid on so we can work out where the quarter panel sits. But we're starting to get there now, it's starting to look like an actual car. So I'll show you what we're doing. So this is the 75mm Origin Labo fender. So I had to do a bit of trimming around here, get it to fit around the fuel cap, and then you kind of have to jiggle everything around a little bit to actually get it to sit on the car nicely. But it's sitting on there now, and you use these Plico pins, so you just drill tiny little holes and it's got it all lined up, and you can kind of hold it in place with a little bit of movement with that before you drill your big holes for your riv nuts. So got a couple more to do down this edge here, and then the ones on the back to do, and then this side will be at least Plico pin fixed. Then I'll probably do the side skirt on this side, then I'll probably move on to the other side, do the quarter panel on the side skirt on that side, and then the last thing is just a rear bumper. The whole kit is fitted, and I am gassed. It looks so cool. We are currently trying to get the fab work finished off. So we've mounted bottles. So you've got power steering reservoir mounted up here. This side we've got coolant expansion bottle mounted in there. We've got oil filter housing mounted down here. I have just mounted the coolers. Now these are the coolers, sort of the cooler, I don't know what you call it, brackets that I had on the old car. Probably going to put new cores on this car, but I'll use the same bracket stuff. Rad's laid in there for now. So yeah, just mounted these. Now we've made like a cooling panel plate. It goes on here, sits nicely, but I don't like the way that it goes with the headlight brackets. So I'm going to redo these headlight brackets now so as they're hidden. So that's what I'm going to do next, redo these headlight brackets. Then I think once we've done that, I've got mounts to make for the intercooler to bolt in down here on this side. Then cut these tubes back a little bit, put the lap joints on, make the front bash bar, and I think that leaves us with everything engine bay wise done in terms of fab work. That was a lot of work. But we got it done. The car is now in the booth and time to get it into primer. So it's basically I can prime the whole car, including the interior. Then next week I'm going to paint the interior in the colour that it's going to be, and then the shell will come out. All the panels are going to get prepped, and then it's going to go down to DB paint to have the exterior paint job done, something spicy. Mixed up with black base coat. That took ages. So this is our next one. Sparkle Pearl Purple. So this basically has to go on a black base coat. It's a nice sort of sparkly, sparkly pearl. It's like a metallic. Goes on almost like a lacquer. So we're going to get that on next, and then that'll give us the colour of the interior. It's taking a while, but we're almost there. We now have base coat and the colour, and it looks sick. That gives you a good representation. So that's no lacquer. The whole inside is now painted in the colour, base coat and colour. So last thing, get the lacquer on, get it looking shiny, and then that's the interior done. The last thing to get on is some custom paints, 2K Show Clear. Good quality clear coat, gives it a nice shine, and we'll get a good few coats on that so it's nice and strong. So let's get that mixed up, get the clear coat painted, and I can go home and have some dinner. Right, hope you enjoyed the video. In the next video, it will be the car coming back from paint, and then we can crack on with the build process. So hope you enjoyed the video so far. Hope you're enjoying the build series. If there's anything you think we could change or any additional information, technical information that you might want, let us know, because we can try and put that into future episodes.